friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me, because today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things to talk about, and that is my all-time favorite book couples. Okay, I read a lot of romance, I read a lot of fantasy romance, and there are just some couples that just stick with me, that I just love so much, whether I'm like rooting for them and want them to be happy, or whether I kind of maybe want to be a part of the couple myself. Either way, these couples are top tier for me, and I want to share them with you. If you haven't read the books that feature these couples, maybe this can serve as a type of recommendation video for you. But either way, let's get into it, because I feel like I'm gonna have a lot to say about these couples and about these books. Okay, so I want to start off with this book because I read it. Well, I reread it not too long ago, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, because I just mentioned it maybe 2 videos ago, 3 max. So that is Chloe and Reid from Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which is by Talia Hibbert. And let me tell you about Chloe and Reid. I found myself rooting for them. Let me tell you just a little bit about what the book is about before I start talking about the couple, okay? So in this, we are following Chloe Brown, who has fibromyalgia, which is a chronic illness, and she feels like she spent her whole life following the rules, doing what she is supposed to do, and she wants to shake things up a little bit. So she decides to create this list that is supposed to help her get a life. And she decides to enlist Reid to help her with this list. She thinks that, he is just the type of person to help her on this journey with his tattoos and his motorcycle and his tough exterior. But along the way, Chloe finds out that Reid is a cinnamon roll. And one of the reasons why I find myself rooting so hard for Chloe and Reid is because that Reid helps Chloe realize that it's okay to have someone take care of you, and you're not a burden just because you have an illness, and you can still be you. It just gave me everything that I needed to give. I liked that Chloe and Reid both had growing to do as individuals, and they took that on separately, but also helped each other out in that way, and just became better people as they became a couple. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the only YA slash new adult-ish, I guess you could call it, that will be on this list, and that is Honey and Spice by Babalola. And the couple that I love from this book is Kiki and Kai. Let me tell y'all something. I ride for Kiki and Kai. I just feel like they're that couple that needs to be together, and whatever they got to do to be together, I need them to do it. I need them to work through it, because what is life if Kiki and Kai are not in game? Let me read a little snippet of the synopsis, because I read this years ago and I don't want to mess it up, and I want you to get the right idea of Kiki and Kai. Sharp-tongued and secretly soft-hearted, Kiki has made a huge mistake. As an expert in relationship evasion and the host of popular student radio show Brown Sugar, she has made it her mission to make sure that the women of the African Caribbean Society at Whitewell College in southern England do not fall into the mess of situationships, players, and heartbreak. But when the queen of the unbothered kisses Malachi, or Kai, the guy she just publicly denounced as the waste man of Whitewell in front of every black Wellian on campus, she finds her show on the brink. And one of my favorite things about Kiki and Kai is their banter and their chemistry. I mean, it's top tier from jump. Like, what? One of the cutest romances ever. I just love the way that, they talk to each other, the way that they, take care of each other. Kiki and Kai need to be in game, period. Like, Yes. And I am so excited. I literally screamed when I saw the announcement for Sweet Heat, which is coming out, I think, in the summer of this year. And it's a follow up to Kiki and Kai's story. And I'm like, yes, yes, Bolu, you knew what we needed. We need more of Kiki and Kai. And like I said, whatever they got to do to be in game, I'm here for it. You know, love them so much. So, our next book that I'm going to talk about is Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop, and this features Janelle and Rome, one of the couples that I think I want to be a part of. Not just that I just love them in general, but like I kind of like y'all. You know what I'm saying? Rome, I think, is one of the ultimate bookish girly boyfriends out there. Like the things that he did for Janelle, who happens to be a reader, are very specific. And if you're not a reader, it won't hit you as hard. But like the what he did for her, I'll never get over it. And I'm just wishing and hoping that one day it'll happen for me. I don't got that type of money, but and only for the week, Janelle's sister is marrying her ex boyfriend, and they're doing a destination wedding in Tulum. And Janelle is just like stressed out because her sister is a bridezilla, and the fact that she is marrying her ex boyfriend, like she doesn't really care because their relationship wasn't that deep. But everybody is acting crazy towards her and acting like she's the problem when the sister should be the problem. The wedding party goes down to Tulum a week earlier to just kind of chill and hang out. And Rome is the best man, and he has always had a crush on Janelle, but of course he never acted on it because she was dating his best friend. But now that they're here in Tulum together, he's like, okay, give me this week, only for the week, and just let me take care of you. I see the stress, and I've always liked you. Like, let me just take care of you. And that he did. And that he did. The club scene. I can't even talk about this book and about Janelle and Rome without wanting to dive back in and read it again. I want to talk about a throuple, okay? And this throuple has been my top. Nobody has topped them since I read this. And their names are Sadie, Hendrix, and Nova. And they are featured in this novella called Treble by Rousey Adams. Okay. And I'll read you the synopsis of this one because it's short. Treble, consisting of three parts, threefold. A spilled chai tea latte and a swipe to the right thrust Sadie headfirst into Hendrix's and Nova's life. Although the couple has been polyam for almost their whole relationship, they have never been interested in the same person until now. Hendrix and Nova are not prepared for the heady, wondrous heat of the ride the three of them take, but they know one thing for sure: their lives will never be the same. And when I tell you, my life was not the same after reading about Sadie, Hendrix, and Nova, okay? I'm knocking on the door, let me in. Like, I just want to be a part too. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I really loved about Sadie, Nova, and Hendrix is the care and the love and the actual feelings. Like, sometimes I feel when you are reading about a polyamorous couple or whatever, it feels like it's not what am I trying to say? The feelings are sometimes on the back burner, and it's mainly about sexual things and situations and whatnot. But these people really cared about each other, and they took care of each other, and I loved it. Like, I loved it so much. I love them so much. Pick this up. It's real short, so no, it's not like a huge commitment, and you might learn a thing or two. This one right here feels a little personal. It feels like this author knew me and kind of wrote this about my life. And, I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I do. I think it's like so great. But anyway, That is Outdrawn by Deanna Gray, and the couple featured is Noah and Sage. First of all, look at them. Like, aren't they just the freaking cutest couple ever? Like, so cute. But in this, we are following Noah and Sage. Noah has just got her first job working at a comic company where she will be revamping kind of a cult classic um, comic and putting her own spin on it. Spin? What? Spin on it. And Sage has always been, at the top of the comic game. And she was told that she would get, full creative control of this revamp. And so they don't know that they will be working with each other. And until Noah shows up, and yeah. And then there's another layer of this because Noah and Sage went to art school together and they were rivals, and so all the things. But what really got me about Noah and Sage is that Sage is me. I am Sage. The things that she is going through in this book, like, I can't even count how many times in this book while I was annotating that I just wrote Sage equals me. Some kind of way of saying, like, what the heck, this is me. Why is this me? And it was so like it gave everything. And Sage is the type of person that takes care of everybody, and that is her job. And she has to learn that it's not her job to take care of everybody in her family, and also to be okay with accepting help. And I like Noah because Noah was like, look, I want to be your partner. And if you're not gonna allow me to do that, then what we doing? Because you're not by yourself, and you're not gonna act like you're by yourself when you're with me. And I'm like, ooh, it was such a read, but it was so sweet, and I just loved everything about this couple. And I can never say enough about Noah and Sage. Next up, I want to talk about Truly and Colin from Truly Madly Deeply by Alexandria Bellefleur. And this follows Truly, who is a best-selling romance novelist, and she has been invited to be on this podcast to talk about relationships. And it's kind of like a counterpart thing, a person who loves love and a person who is like a skeptic, and that skeptic is Colin, who just so happens to be a divorce/family lawyer. So they get on this podcast, and Colin offends Truly, so she decides to walk out. Well, Colin's sister is the one who hosts the podcast, and she's a really big fan of Truly. So she basically makes him go to apologize to Truly, because this is supposed to be like segments and multiple podcasts. And she's like, you're not about to ruin this for me, so I'm gonna need you to go fix it. So Colin apologizes to Truly, and they start, having conversations, and they become friends and become other things as well. And this was so cute to me, and it was such a surprise. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this book or this couple as much as I did. I really felt like Colin and Truly were supposed to be together, and I was rooting for them every step of the way. Now look, let me tell you about your boy Colin. Colin is a book boyfriend that I think a lot of us will enjoy, because Colin doesn't have a big ego, in a sense that Colin will get down on his knees and beg for his woman. And I mean that very literally. I mean, Colin has no issue being on his knees and, begging for your forgiveness. And he likes being told what to do. So if that's your thing, if that's something that you feel like might do something for you, check this out, because Colin was a surprise. But I like Colin, Yeah. Let's talk about my newest favorite book couple. And I just read this book last month and fell in love with Mickey and Diego, another couple that I want to be a part of their couple. And this is from Mickey Chamber Shakes It Up by Charish Reid. And in this, we follow Mickey, who is an adjunct professor teaching summer classes, but she's not making enough money. So she decides to take a side job as a bartender. And the owner of the bar is Diego, and they have this very immediate chemistry and attraction to each other. But they have to navigate this boss employee relationship. But then, not only that, Mickey finds out that Diego is a student that's taking her class. So they have two really awkward relationships to manage: boss employee and student teacher. And they just can't seem to fight this chemistry. There's another layer to it because Mickey has a chronic illness. She has hypothyroidism, and she doesn't like to tell people because she wants people to see and get to know her outside of her illness. And Diego's wife passed away recently, and Mickey is the first woman that he has felt an attraction to and has wanted to get to know. So he's navigating those feelings as well. Mickey and Diego, they did it for me. I love them so much. Their banter, their like grumpy sunshine situation. Mickey and Diego. I don't even know if this video is making any sense because I, it's hard for me to describe. Like, I don't know. I hope this is making sense, but they they were such a great couple, and I really liked how they helped each other. And yeah, moving on. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Devon and Kris plan a wedding by Chencia C. Higgins. Devon and Kris, another couple that I want to be a part of their couple because, yeah, yeah. Instant I Do, which is a reality dating TV show, could be Kris's big break. She's right on the cusp of making it as an influencer, so a stint on reality TV is the perfect chance to elevate her brand, and $100,000 wouldn't hurt either. My voice is already scratchy. I haven't even been talking that long. Devon is just trying to break out of her shell. She sort of neglected to come out to her mom for years, so a big splashy fake wedding is just the excuse she needs. All they have to do is convince their family and friends that they're getting married in 6 weeks. If anyone guesses they're not for real, they're out. Selling their chemistry on camera is surprisingly easy, and it's still there when no one else is watching, which is an unexpected bonus. Winning this competition is going to be a piece of cake. And Devon and Kris have this immediate chemistry when they meet each other, and it's just really cute. I loved that they were partners from jump. Like, even though it was to win this reality show and to win the money and all of that, they were there for each other from jump. They were in this together. They were taking care of each other. If anything came up, they were like figuring it out together. No one was left to figure stuff out on their own. And I loved that. Like, it was it was so sweet. And just watching them fall for each other and not even realize that that's what was happening. Like, ugh, love this so much. And I really liked that the conflicts or any problems that came up was not with each other. There wasn't like any miscommunication or one of them not acting right. It was an external conflict that, like I mentioned earlier, they solved together. And Devon and Kris, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Kris started speaking Spanish to me, and I think it's Spanish, or is it Spanish or Portuguese? I can't quite remember. But you start speaking in another language to me, that's it. That's all. And yeah, Devon, they gave, and I love this so much. So I want to talk about Prince Envy and Camilla. And they come from Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the first book in the Princess of Sin series. And I just wiped my finger across my glasses, and now there's a smudge. It's going to annoy me, but I'm not about to take them off and clean them right now. Prince Envy has never claimed to be a saint, but when a cryptic note arrives signaling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows it will take more than a hint of sin to win and save his fallen demon court. Riddles, hexed objects, anonymous players, nothing will stand in his way. Though none of his meticulous plans prepare him for her, the frustrating artist who ignites his sin like no other. The trouble with scoundrels and blackguards is that they haven't a modicum of honor, a fact Miss Camilla Antonius learns after one desperate mistake allows Waverly Green's most notorious rake to blackmail her. To avoid a ruinous scandal, Camilla is forced to enter a devil's bargain with Envy, little expecting his game will awaken her true nature. Together, Envy and Camilla must embark on a perilous journey through the underworld from glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm and beyond, while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, falling in love. I love a well matched couple, and Camilla and Envy were well matched in every way possible. The games that they were playing with each other, the tension, the banter, like they were going toe to toe, and I enjoyed every second of it. Like, yes, Camilla was just as much of a badass as Envy. She didn't need him to take care of her, and that's what I loved about her. And he was trying so hard. He was trying so hard to get the best of Camilla, but he had truly met his match, and I I loved it. I loved them. I think that their progression and the things that they went through really strengthened them as a couple. And they were just fun. They were fun, and I had a good time reading about them. And I'm gonna set this heavy book down now because my wrist hurts. And last but certainly never least, we have Aurea and Reid from The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. When I tell you I was crying, screaming, throwing up over Aurea and Reid, I was. Let me read you a little bit. So, the adopted human daughter of the Nightborn Vampire King, Aurea carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Reid is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, but her greatest competition. Yet, what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. And look, a couple of badasses handling business, fighting to the death to win. I just it I really enjoyed their story because they were truly enemies. They had reasons to hate each other, and then they became reluctant allies, and we watched that blossom into a relationship only for it to be completely torn away from us at the end of this. This was an emotional roller coaster, but the blood drinking scene, Aurea and Reid were my favorite because you never knew what was going to happen. It was like you got a piece of them, like, okay, yeah, they're about to get together. We're about to, it's about to happen, only for it to be taken back and something, you know, changes the situation, or they never fully really trusted each other because they were actually enemies and, we're kind of on different sides. And I really, I really, I loved them so much. it it was such a roller coaster with Aurea and Reid, but the way that you know, I just I loved them so much, and I love the way that Reid built up Aurea because she's a human in this vampire world, and she it is vulnerable to a certain extent, but he didn't treat her like she was just this fragile thing. Like, he boosted her up. He was out there helping her, do what she wanted to do, helping her build her skills, making sure she, giving her the confidence to be who she was and letting her know that she didn't need anything extra. Like, she was a badass already. And I'm like, yes, Rain. Yes. Yes. So love this so much. And that is it. What do we have? I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We have talked about my all-time favorite top 10 book couples. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me on any of these in the comment section below. Drop one of your favorite book couples. I would love to see who some of your favorites are. And I would like to thank you for staying to the end of this video, for commenting, sharing, liking, subscribing, anything that you do to support me and my channel. I am very, very, very grateful. If you would like to stay connected with me, I have my socials and other links down in the comments section. And I promise I've hit my microphone to my mouth like 3 times in that whole spiel. Struggling. But anyway, I hope you have the best day that you possibly can, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.